The Democratic Alliance is writing to the eThekwini city manager to call for faster action in dealing with hijacked and derelict buildings in the metro. The party conducted an oversight visit at some of the identified sites on Thursday. The countrywide crackdown follows last week's fire at a hijacked building in the Joburg CBD that left at least 77 people dead. eNCA reporter Dasen Thathiah tells us more.
Durban residents will have to wait just a little bit longer to hear what the big announcement is by the Department of Human Settlements and Public Works in relation to the dilapidated buildings that are seemingly taking over the city. Now, there are a number of them that exist and have existed for a long time, and these have been labeled as problem buildings. But this is one of them here on the Victoria Embankment. It's one that has been a part of the city's landscape for a long time. And it is also one of those that is a concern because it has been condemned. These buildings have been known to become havens of crime, and it's unclear how many people actually occupy them at any given time. The Democratic Alliance in eThekwini is doing an oversight visit, and it has looked at two of the buildings that are in the city. I'm now with Mzamo Billy, who's with the Democratic Alliance. Mzamo, let's start here. There seems to be now a renewed focus on these types of buildings, and it's obvious why, because of the fire in Johannesburg that claimed so many lives. The Department of Human Settlements and Public Works also saying that they now have a plan. Your visit coincides with the same day that they had planned this. I mean, what are you hoping to achieve here? Because one could easily say that it has now become a ticket for political parties to use to gain votes.
Well, luckily, Dasen, this is a campaign that the Democratic Alliance has been involved in for many years because we simply believe that this is a huge hazard, not just for the people living around here, but for the people who've hijacked these buildings, who are illegally occupying these buildings. And those people need to be assisted from the danger that might happen, which is something that could be similar to what happened in Johannesburg. So this is not the first time that the DA is speaking about this. Yes, we have revisited our call for government to take responsibility and to enforce laws, bylaws of the city so that we can take control of such buildings.
What will you be doing?
Our action step from here today is to write to the city manager and ask him to make an audit of all the problem buildings in the city so that the city can then begin to devise a strategy on how to resolve this issue. But again, the city can't do that alone. It means that other spheres of government, which is the provincial government, which is the national government, must work together. But also what we are going to do from today is to put an urgent motion to council for this month so that council and all political parties can agree that we have a problem. And once we all agree as political parties that there is an impending catastrophe and that needs to be dealt with, then the motion will then ask political parties to instruct the city manager and municipal officials to again work on devising a strategy to eliminate or to work on ensuring that these kind of buildings are being dealt with as a matter of urgency and that there's a proper report back to council as to what steps is being taken, which should include the workings with provincial government, with the South African police, Metro Police, national government, on how we can make sure that private property owners don't lose buildings through to criminals.
Appreciate your time. Mzamo Billy there from the Democratic Alliance in eThekwini. Now, the eThekwini municipality does have a problem buildings unit, and it has in the past tried to deal with several of these cases, but unfortunately they've also been met with resistance, and there have been court challenges as well which have prevented evictions. I'm Dasen Thathiah in Durban.